Good morning, everyone. As you all remember, one of our classmates' claim of fact speech was stating that texting is having a negative effect on kids' writing skills. He stated two main reasons to back up his claim, being that texting has had a negative effect on kids by having a higher amount of misspelled words, and number two being that text messaging results in poor grammar. I'm here to refute the claim and state that texting does not have such a bad impact on kids' writing. To start off, the advocate quoted a teacher saying that the essays her students turned in were filled with misspelled words, but if we come to think about how accurate that really is, they are still young and learning, and the point of writing essays is to improve your knowledge, spelling, grammar, and punctuation skills. Am I right? So if there were no mistakes on the essays, there would be no need to even step foot in the school, don't you think? Yes, there might be a bunch of words that are shortened while texting along with abbreviations and acronyms. But if we come to think about this point of texting, the point of texting is to make it a quick message, and if we use the wrong your or you are, it technically isn't too much of a big deal, just because at the end of the day, we all understand what we implied, and we're not getting a grade for it. The advocate also stated in his speech that it takes years of practice to build grammar. This just proves that just because we send, let's say, 50 to 100 text messages a day, it does not compare to all those hours we've spent at school learning how to spell tomorrow the right way, not tomorrow. They are acronyms we are supposed to know. TTYL means talk to you later via texting, but in our essays, you best believe we're not going to be writing TTYL, emailing a teacher. We're going to say, I will see you tomorrow. Adding to this, kids do not text as much as adults do. According to the Pew Research Center, some 83% of American adults own cell phones, and 73% of them are texting nonstop. The main issue should be focused on adults, not children, because not many kids spend their whole day texting. My refutation on a second point about not using proper punctuation while texting leads back to the same statement, being that we don't put a period after, hey, I went grocery shopping, when we send that as a text, does not mean we will not know that it goes there when we're taking a grammar test. Backing up his statement, he said that misspelled words are caused by relying too much on autocorrect. In my opinion, I feel like autocorrect can actually expand your knowledge of vocabulary. And I'm not the only one that thinks like that. According to a text starter blog, it is said that when an autocorrect suggestion comes up with the correct word for your context, you have just learned how to spell the word. You might also retain the proper punctuation or grammar you've learned from a sentence of your work. This is so true, because how many of you are going to tell me that you have never learned how to spell a word correctly thanks to autocorrect and use it in any essay or professional email? So it's not such a bad thing that kids rely on autocorrect sometimes. So concluding my speech, I believe that texting does not have such a negative impact on kids, especially when the main texters are teens to adults. So let us not get so against children using text messaging due to the fact that it will result in poor grammar and spelling. Thank you.
All right, you identify the advocate's claim pretty clearly, and there's a preview of what the supporting points are going to be or what the advocate's points were. And I thought that you started off pretty well identifying the first point that you're responding to when you talk about the particular piece of evidence. After that, the responses are a little bit more generic and not directed at specific claims that the advocate made, although you do come back and talk about some of those claims occasionally. I like the counter evidence that you have on the adults and the frequency with which they text. There's an interesting piece of information there suggesting that autocorrect may actually help people spell. I'm not exactly sure that that's true. I think, as you said, sometimes people just come to rely on it, and they don't ever bother to learn how to spell tomorrow. I can never remember how many damn M's there are in tomorrow. And remember, that's the one that I screw up all the time. I leave out too many, so... But I appreciate the responses that you had and then the explanations. I thought they were pretty efficient. All right, we'll keep it short so that we can move on because I know you guys want